Hello, I am Yasha. Thank you for attending our showcase presentation. My advisory panel includes Dr. Mark Federico, Dr. Jeffrey Haddon, and Dr. Tom West. Just breathe, live, lead, learn, move, and enjoy the journey. My academic portfolio title is both intentional and purposeful. I have been a registered respiratory therapist for 9 years. I am an assistant professor of respiratory care at MSU Texas, a COPD and pulmonary disease educator, a credentialed fitness professional with ACSM, NASM, and NSCA, and I have competed on the world stage as an IFBB Miss Olympia women's physique competitor. By the end of this presentation, you will see how my CalU experience not only cultivated, but nurtured my sincerest desires to make a difference in the world in which we live. Now let's begin by reviewing my vision. My vision is to share exercise with the global COPD community through advanced digital technology. I am extremely excited to share my academic portfolio with you. Come on, let me give you a tour. This is my homepage where you will find my CV. My guiding principles are the next tab over. My guiding principles include COPD maintenance must first begin with self-care. Respiratory care knowledge constantly evolves, therefore learning never ends. And just breathe, keep moving, live your life, and enjoy the journey. My research foci include respiratory care education and leadership strategies, COPD advocacy, and increasing physical activity through virtual fitness. My artifacts are located right here, and let's begin with service. First, I have a question. Before COVID-19, did you understand the role of the respiratory therapist? As you can see, we do much more than teach patients how to properly use their inhalers. We save lives. Unfortunately, respiratory care receives little respect within the healthcare industry. In fact, we're often depicted as the weakest link and pictured at the bottom of the totem pole. One obvious reason centers around our entry-level certification requirements for education, which is merely a 2-year degree. In 2015, our national organization, the American Association of Respiratory Care, established a goal that 80% of all respiratory therapists would either hold or be working towards a bachelor's by the year 2020. I embraced the challenge. Last year, I created and piloted the Respiratory Care Ambassador program, Reminisces. This student leader mentoring program addresses the fate of the respiratory care profession and highlights the need to pursue higher education. As I mentioned, I am an assistant professor of respiratory care at MSU Texas. My students are working respiratory therapists pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree in respiratory care. With my first artifact, I mentored 5 students and encouraged them to be role models at their clinical facilities. The ambassadors shared their educational experiences with their coworkers and stressed the urgent need to save our profession by pursuing higher education. Our plans were hindered and ultimately halted by the devastating consequences of COVID-19. However, Dr. Linda Meyer taught me how to lead during a global pandemic. Following her example of resiliency, I chose to persevere. Therefore, the journey continues. For my second artifact, entitled The Journey, I created a Respiratory Care Ambassador online orientation, desiring to continue the Genesis project even in the midst of a global pandemic. Here's a brief excerpt. Hello, I am Yasha. Welcome to the MSU Texas Respiratory Care Ambassador team. Yes, we are a team. You are vital to the success of our profession, and I am so glad that you're here. Congratulations on taking the first step towards becoming the next 21st century healthcare leader. I am extremely honored to assist you on your journey. Scholarship. My first artifact is a newsletter for people with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. The most common symptoms of COPD include fatigue and shortness of breath, which worsens upon exertion. My hope was to teach them about the disease process, provide resources for support services, encourage physical activity, and introduce virtual fitness options. Now, I know what you're thinking, COPD and virtual fitness? But here's my rationale. COPD is a chronic lung disease, typically diagnosed after age 40. However, some live with the disease well into their 80s and 90s. While at Cal U, I sought not only to find the available technologies such as smartphone applications, video conferencing, fitness apps, active video games, and robots, but I was interested in whether this mature population would even be interested in using the technology. Evidence is still emerging, but it appears that virtual fitness might be beneficial to promote physical activity in COPD. My future research direction includes understanding the intrinsic motivators for COPD and exercise, and examining the facilitators and barriers of utilizing the advanced technology from the perspective of the patient, with respect to ease of use and device design. And teaching. Did you know that COPD affects more than 5% of the U.S. population, killing more than 140,000 Americans annually? According to the CDC, one COPD-related death occurs every 4 minutes, yet the average person has never even heard of the disease. Why is there such little public awareness and attention? In my presentation entitled, Find Your Voice, A Blueprint to COPD Advocacy, I teach people living with COPD that they are their best advocate. Inspired by the legendary life of the late Representative John Robert Lewis, civil rights activist and COPD advocate, I urge participants to let us walk in their shoes. I encourage participants to value their experiences with COPD and to create an advocacy plan. Moreover, I urge people living with COPD to stand up, speak out, and share their stories. For only then will COPD receive the attention it warrants.
If you find something that you feel very strong about, stand up, speak out, give it your all, push, pull, and as I said from time to time, never ever give up, or give in, or give out. And whatever you do it with faith and hope and much love.
It has been an honor to share my Cal U experience with you. While at Cal U, I gained advanced understanding of adult learning theories and leadership principles. I established a foundation of evidence-based practices and protocols, and I refined my research interest, which is COPD and virtual fitness. A heartfelt thanks to Dr. Rebecca Hess, who taught me to advocate and to continue giving a voice to people with COPD. To Dr. Jeffrey Hatton, who reminded me to just breathe, because caring for others must first begin with self-care. To Dr. Ellen West, on day one, you asked if I was ready to begin this journey. Looking back now, the answer was no, but I am ready to continue. Life is indeed a journey, and I will keep moving forward. To Dr. Tom West, I must remember that technology is my friend, and therefore learning never ends. To Dr. Mark Federico, the heart of the DHSc program, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for challenging me, and thank you for sharing your passion for excellence. To President Geraldine Jones, remaining true to your name, you have been a powerful leader. Thank you for your inspiration, your guidance, and your sacrifices. And to my fellow cohort, just breathe, live your life, and enjoy the journey.